said, I've got loads of, like my background is basically freelance producing, and that was like, I spent years just grabbing bits of information from people, so I know how useful it is to talk to people who produce them. And I've got like documents and templates I can send you, but it's, rather than just sending you loads of stuff that isn't useful, it would be good to know what is useful.
Well, I think it depends on many things. So for Louise, because she's British, it's easier for her to do the freelancing type of thing.
I'm just going to set my face while we talk.
Go for it.
Apologies.
But I think that London has many people like me that comes under a visa, like a student visa, and young people programs like the Rich Mix program helped me a lot to discover a thing that I really like, that is producing events, that I never knew I would like because I never tried in Colombia before. Well, I did try it, but I was more like in the logistics, the volunteer that was like at the end, like we need volunteers, and I was like, yeah, I can do that, but it's different when you're producing than when you're volunteering.
Yeah, definitely.
Completely different experience because volunteering is quite chill, you just follow the instructions, assist, and that's it. While producing is a little bit more
Making it
crazy
happen.
and yeah, it's making it happen and the stuff. So I know many things like what is a call out, different like stage management, all the different parts of producing an event that I would like. This is cool. That of course it will develop more with experience. But I do think that there is many people that come to the UK like me that find these young people opportunities, take them, but then making the step from that to pursuing a career, it's a little bit more challenging and difficult because of my visa I cannot do freelancing. So
Is that what, you have to be sponsored by someone?
sponsored by someone.
I wonder what, I'm just writing it down.
And then the sponsorship, the company that needs to give me the sponsorship needs to have the license, and the license is super expensive. So then it's
How
like,
much is the license?
I think it's like £20,000.
So it needs to be like a big organisation, isn't it?
Yeah, something with money, basically. And
Like
when I was researching which companies in the arts have the license, and the only one I was like, I like this one because they put it in this category of sports, art, and entertainment. And I was like, usually the organizations that had the license were like sports and entertainment, but more like in publicity and marketing type of thing, which is not
so it's
what
like more commercial.
yeah, more
Because
commercial.
they have more money, I
They have
think.
more money. And the only one that I really liked was arts admin. But then looking for jobs, they only had like for disabled people, which is amazing, but I'm not disabled.
Yeah,
like
they're very inclusive. I know what's happening quite well.
I know.
I know what's happening quite well.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can get in touch with them even when you're in Colombia and just like join their network and stuff.
Yeah, I think that.
They are very well respected and they are an amazing organisation.
And I met them through Rich Mix because I did the placement.
Great.
And yeah, it's a good organization, it's amazing, and they're really inclusive. But the opportunities they had at the moment when I was looking were for disabled people. So
They do have an annual Young Producers.
yeah, it was this year for disabled people.
Oh really?
Yeah, just disabled.
Well, if that comes up again and you want to apply for it, I'm happy to be like a reference. You've obviously got your Rich Mix people as well, but if you need more than one.
Yeah, I usually
Because I work,
send to references. But yeah, it's more like this stepping stone
yeah.
for people that have limited options.
Yeah, well, like,
Sort of
there
thing.
are big organisations, like the Barbican do, the organisations like Barbican and maybe some other ones do apprenticeships, which I guess are for like emerging
Yeah.
producers or whatever, so it's worth looking into them as well.
Well, I look for all the young stuff, and I applied for young poets and young programmers.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
Ah,
They say like, because of the people that applied, first they need to think about the group they're gonna have and how they wanna mix it. So they said like, you have good stuff, but how we organize the group.
they also have apprenticeships though in like the creative learning team and stuff like that. So that would be like feeding into like the delivery of whatever program it sits on right there. So that might be worth looking into, because if you can get one of them, then you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Because Birmingham has more money, I think.
Look at the South Bank Centre as well. I'm sure like all
I
these.
know. Yeah, the big.
Well, I imagine they're like somehow like they want to do these things, but they'll also be obliged to do these things because they have more money and probably a part of. In fact, look into like the Arts Council and National Portfolio Organisations. So at some point, the Arts Council, the fund basically, long story short, the funding got cut, so they changed the model of funding. So instead of giving the funding, instead of the Arts Council giving the funding to like loads of different organisations, they gave it to like 5 or 6 big organisations that became national portfolio organisations.
I know that. I think
you would.
is part of it and Bacana as well.
I think so, probably. And the Royal Opera House definitely is. And although you might not be that interested in opera, they have like learning and participation, like community programs, and all of these organisations would be a great like step into like the London scene, the working environment.
Yeah, that's like the only thing that. Yeah, because if I could stay here, I would just continue producing events, have a random work, and then eventually
Yeah.
just start earning money from the events and working in different places. But then like these limitations are.
And how does it work in Colombia? Can you introduce? Can you produce stuff there? And is it the same sort of environment? Like, is there a kind of entrepreneurial spirit?
There is like this environment that people are making a lot of stuff. The only thing is that there is less amount of money, because Arts Council in England actually supports a lot, and there are many. I've seen many funding opportunities in the UK that are really interesting. In Colombia, there's not much money because people usually think like, like arts and culture is not as important as
as other social issues or whatever.
So yeah, but
what people don't know is that actually it's really important for solving all of those different things.
For solving, for overcoming, for developing, giving spacing. Just entertainment bit is really important, and of course the places that have the money, they produce shitty stuff, like everything that they produce.
Oh my god, couldn't agree more.
Yeah, it's so
Insane in Asia.
So it's like, but I mean there is opportunities there, and I'm sure it will arrive and start like looking for different stuff, because I have a little bit of experience in Colombia with events production, because I helped with a venue that they had there.
So you have like a bit of a network there.
Yeah, I have a network there, so something will happen.
It might also be worth you looking into the British Council, who, while like politically complicated organisation, they often fund international programs and residencies, so they might be able to fund you into doing something over here if you really want to continue working, building your relationships here. And if you need a partner, or some, like you can get in touch with me, and obviously if you're Richmond's people, and you could propose like producing something with like a Latin American community in the city of London or whatever.
There's so many things that Latinos are doing right now.
Yeah,
that would be good to give them more, because I know that Rich Mix is already a place that Latinos know, and they usually go there to do their events. But Rich Mix has a very specific community going, like they have their audience. Well, I don't know.
And is it quite diverse, or is it like very local, or is it? I know I've been going to Richmond for years, but I've never worked there or spent like a length of time there. So I'd be interested to know whether it's like the trendy local audience or the local.
I think it's like everything. Like if you do a Indian event, music and art, even if it's a Barbican, most of the people that are going to go are from that community. And a few others that like the stuff. And the same happens in Richmond. Like there are events like the New Year's Eve event is produced by a Latino company that is called Movimientos. They produce just music events, bring people, and they do that event every New Year's Eve.
No way, that sounds really
It's
fun.
really cool, and the people that go is the trending people from the area.
Yeah.
But if I go to another event, Latin American people at Rich Mix, most of the people there will be Latinos or a British friend from a Latino person that went.
Yeah.
Or that is performing.
Okay. Yeah, similar to here, I guess. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could look into things like that, like international. Like the British Council often do programs like that where they fund like a partnership between like a country in South America, and I'm suddenly aware that I don't know whether Colombia is officially like. How do you? What region?
So
Do you
it
say
is.
Latin America? Or do you
So
say?
say many things.
No,
It
of
depends
course.
on the
and-
person you're talking
No,
with.
but also like I guess it's all these fucking British like ways of dividing things, and it like might not have any
No,
relationship.
but even us don't know how to divide it properly because it's quite hard. But then, let's say it's like everything from Mexico down is Latin America, except for two countries that they speak English and German, and French and German, I think. So there are two countries
Yeah.
next to Venezuela and Brazil that
Right.
are not usually considered Latin America. So
And
it's
there's
quite
Latin
hard.
America. Oh right, okay. And then South America, but
South
that
America-
includes Mexico.
That includes
No, Mexico's central.
Mexico is actually so based in the ones that made these divisions were the people from the United States. So
Of course, so they say central or south, but
Mexico
Mexico
is part of North America.
Yeah. Okay,
But for
I
me,
know that.
it's part of Central America
Yeah.
because it's a different culture from the
But
United
the
States.
US will say
It is South America.
the US will say it's north.
Yeah, Central America will be everything like Mexico. I think it's like Costa Rica,
Yeah, okay.
Guatemala, till Panama.
I probably would know
That's
this if I
Central.
looked at a map, but like I suddenly just don't want to be offensive and call it.
Colombia is South America.
Yeah.
And Latin
And Latin
America. So yeah, for the
Okay.
Americas it was
Cool. Okay. I just wanted to check that you didn't have an entire meeting being really
it's
offensive.
weird.
and
Like there is in the United States something called the philosophy of like Latin American philosophy, and it's a huge movement now.
wow.
And it's Latinos trying to say like, what the fuck is a Latino? So yeah.
I mean, yeah. I just did a master's in politics, so I can imagine all of those like constructed identities.
Yeah, because it's
yeah,
not
it's
Imposed on people.
and the name was given by French,
Yeah.
but the geography was given by United States.
Was it?
And then some authors consider the Caribbean Latin American, some authors do not consider the Caribbean
Okay.
Latin
So
American.
let's just say Colombia.
So, yeah, you can say South America.
And is Colombia a Colombian name, or is it divided up, or is it like?
What do you mean?
Is it based on Colombia? Yeah, so it's even like not a. Okay.
It's based on Columbus. And I think that's why many people write it Colombia instead of Colombia.
I made that mistake, and my
No
partner's
worries.
Spanish, and I've recently been like, why do you spell it with an O? Because I'm ignorant, and he's correct. Anyway,
No, but don't worry. Even an Argentinian guy told me like that's the English way of writing Colombia.
With
And
an
I was
O?
like with
With
a
U.
U. And I look at him like
oh no, wait, you spell it with a U.
I always with an O.
Oh no, yeah,
In English, Spanish, any language, it's with an O. But
yeah,
people,
I spell it wrong.
we even have mugs in the airport that said like it's Colombia, not Colombia.
Nice.
So-
What's weird though, as well, about I forget his name, Christopher Columbus, is that in Spain there is called Christopher Colon.
Cristobal Colon.
Yeah. I was like, who is this? Anyway,
Yeah.
that's a whole other issue for a long time. So yeah, British Council look into.
Yeah, I think I received already the e-digest from Arts admin, so that has a lot of stuff as well.
Great. And do you have a contact there, or would you like me to put you in? I can put you in.
In Arts admin.
Yeah, I can put you in touch with somebody because we work quite closely with them and ask them to let you know if there's any international opportunities or something.
It would be good because, well, I met a woman through Rich Mix.
Yeah, who was that?
I don't remember her name. I think it's Nikki.
Okay, I don't know her,
Something like that. I don't remember her name.
but they're all great.
Yeah, but it was like a very fast meeting, and I was there like to exist because it was not a meeting with me. It was more like with the resident artist at the Takeover Festival, and I was doing the placement. So Marco was taking me everywhere. I was like, yeah, I'll go.
Cool. I'll put you in touch with someone as well.
So yeah.
And is there anything else? So, yeah, it would just be great to know about your creative program so we can identify what you learned, and then I can say this might also be useful.
So
Whether you broadly, I guess.
broadly, we learned a tiny bit of everything of producing an event, but because the group was like 12 people, so everyone had different like tasks. And Louise and I were always interested in the artist liaison, doing the call out, doing the stage management, doing all this timing for the stage manager, the music, the DJ. But the thing we both struggled the most with is marketing. Everything with marketing, we're like, we don't like it at all. So if you have anything that will help us to learn how to make marketing easier for us. Because it's a thing, because we know we need to be in social media.
And you guys are young, so
Yeah, but
you should be able to, because I'm like slightly in the generation above, and I'm like, I don't know.
But if you see, like, Larisse has one picture in Instagram.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't even have an Instagram.
I have Instagram with random pictures that if you see it, it doesn't make sense. People look at me like, what's that? And I'm like, I'm having fun.
Yeah, I get it.
So yeah, it's a huge deal for us. Like, I have friends that help me a lot because they know about it. And they're giving me all the time advice. But I know you need at least 1-2 hours every day to work in it.
I don't know if that's true. I think it depends on the scale of the event. So there's a few things. One is I can send you like a list that I have developed over like years of trial and error of the different sort of marketing channels there are, and then you tailor them to the events based on the scale. But there's obviously like social media, as you say, print material, press, which is both like potentially inviting press to the event, but also getting into like listings in like magazines and stuff. So I can, and then local flyering and like wider flyering, and whether you want like a poster or a like leaflet. There's basically like a whole range of marketing, and then events listings. But I think it'll probably be easier for you if I just put it in an email.
Yeah, it would be good because we know a few of them, but then.
And with social media, I will not even pretend to be like a good guide on that. But my experience is Facebook is okay, but it's dying out basically. It used to be the place to do events, and you still do them there, but like it's not. But now you have to pay. Like it doesn't. Basically, Facebook managed itself very well, so that you used to be able to do the events free, and they promote them and send them out, and now you have to pay. So it just has like basically tricked people into needing Facebook, so you pay for like promotional opportunities. Twitter's great and easy.
I think we struggle a lot with Twitter because none of us understand Twitter.
So
it's so weird. It's like
I usually get one of the apprentices in our team to do it because she's about 10 years younger than me. But I just have it on my phone, and this is what I would suggest for Twitter. A, just chatting to people who use it and ask for like the best techniques. B, just put it on your phone and you can tweet as much as you want. Facebook, don't do more than a post a day. Maybe that's even too much. And Instagram, talk to somebody who just uses it, like friends casually.
I know.
And Instagram is the one at the moment that everyone says you've got an Instagram account for events. So maybe get one for your company, and then just post like photos of the events that you've done, and start to build your profile, and then follow people, and then, or I don't know, I think it's good to look like you've got more followers than people you're following, but you can manage that over time. Like you can take away the people you're following once you get more followers. I don't know what you have.
Yeah, I think it's also helpful if you consider about your target people, like different group of people, and contact with that.
Definitely with Twitter.
Yeah.
Like so exactly. So research into like the relevant organizations and strands.
Yeah.
So like art, anyone who's related to like the thing, the event, and local groups and stuff
Yeah,
like
because
that.
I've done that before. If you are targeting like young people, you may need to contact with their family or different society working on that. Then you can find the official website or official account about like young people's activity, that kind of stuff, and you can contact them if they are willing to promote you at some point. Maybe you can contact them.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Lorraine was
totally.
really good in Twitter doing that because she got many people promoting the
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter's like an easy one basically. I'm not great at it because I don't like social media, but or like it's just not my thing. But some people are really good at it, and yeah, you sound like you're way better than me. But just chat to people who like know what they're doing, and they'll tell you how to like do hashtags and pictures, and you can link Facebook to Twitter, which makes everything easier. And you can use Twitter as much as you want, I guess, without annoying people. But Facebook, you can lose followers by using it too much. And I don't know about Instagram, but
In Instagram, I know you need to make a post every day.
do you?
If not, you lose followers.
But if you get things on your phone, then it's so easy to do because you can do it like on public transport or when you're waiting for it. I would say you don't need to spend like an hour a day. If you've got like a little bit of time, like you're volunteering, producing an event, you don't want to spend an hour to 2 hours a day. You can spend 5 minutes a day just tweeting, but do like slot that in because you want to build your profile.
Social media. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's like 100% not my thing, but it is relevant to events. And that also leads me on something else I was going to say is your team. So you could also just bring someone on board who like
To help
is
with
a
the
marketing
social media.
expert. With my early events, that's what I did. There was a really great girl called Alice who like is super. I think we had someone called Nick and then someone called Alice who just were like super passionate about marketing and social media. They were like absolute geeks about it, but it was like probably what we needed.
Okay.
You need someone who's as, like ideally you'd have someone who's as passionate about that as you are about the other side of producing.
Yeah.
And you can also
And you're fine.
you can also find other similar activity, how they portray, how they all promote themselves.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. And also like, I've forgotten what I was going to say. But yeah, if someone's just happy to help you. I was going to say, people might be building their profile, so they might be like trying to gain experience in marketing. So if you can find someone who is happy
is
to,
doing that.
yeah.
Because it's for me it's a pain. It's like
Oh, I hate
every
it.
time I like posting my random stuff in Instagram because it's when I want at the time I want.
But don't have it as the same as your personal account.
Yeah, I have separate. But when I think about the event, I know I need to post every day.
And do it every other day or something like that. But just do it regularly.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
But just slot in like not an hour a day, like 5 minutes, just to put up one
Keep it
photo.
fresh.
Hashtag
Yeah, keep it
love
fresh.
Yeah, and hashtags are important. aren't they?
Yeah,
Because-
like
for them
like
to find
target the specific people you want.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I was, sorry, I was going to say, I'll send you a list of other marketing channels which are like the key ones that I would use.
Yeah, because it's useful to have things that already have a broad audience or whatever. Because like timeout. For the second first, we were in timeout, but in this one, we didn't get to be in timeout.
Timeout
so
has
it's like-
changed. Timeout used to be so accessible and so easy to like get your event into, and you'd fill it in online, and then they'd select it
Yeah.
and then bring you in. And I also had loads of contacts there, but everyone's moved. But then they just became like a lot more commercial, and you then had to, like with everything else, submit a press release and stuff. It just became a lot less accessible. But it's great that you got in there, and they are a good one. But they're
Actually,
just
for the
harder
second
than
one, we
these.
got one girl going just because she saw a small ad in Time Out that said firsts, rich mix, la la la, and we were like,
Yeah, there's also a lot of like, when you're doing events in London, there's a lot of like free events listing sites, and I always use Arts Jobs because there's Arts News.
oh, I didn't put it in Astro. I know they have like a newsletter.
Yeah, they have a daily mail out, which I always read actually. So it's good. Art Admin are also great because they have an advice line, like a free advice line with a producer. So if you have you can obviously contact me and your other contacts.
I applied once, and they sent me an email saying like somebody is gonna contact you shortly. Then that someone contacted me, and I said I'm interested in knowing this, and she was like, cool. As soon as I come back, I'll meet you, and then she never emailed again.
Chase them up. That's another thing that genuinely is like fundamental to freelance producing is to not feel like you can't chase people. Be persistent, but there is that fine line as always with like.
When is too much?
Yeah. So I would always like. What's my like? I'd leave it like a week or something between the first and the second email, or like a couple of. Like, don't email every day. Leave it like, just use your initiative. Leave it a reasonable amount of time, but don't feel bad about chasing people. And my chasing email that usually works is such a like British way of constructing an email and say, hey, I don't know whether you replied, you received my previous email, but I was wondering blah blah blah. And it's like really subtly like, I know you got it, reply to me. I know
you got it, now reply.
Yeah, but it's and they know it's that, and I know it's that, but you construct it as it's like slightly passive aggressive. But yeah, don't be scared about chasing people. You basically have to, and people will always like put things that aren't them. Like if you're looking for a venue, chase the venue. They won't prioritize that necessarily, but just nudge. But there's also what's really key as a freelancer is obviously building relationships, but that also means that when you don't want to use a venue or you can't use an artist or whatever, something you have to turn them down. That you send them an email saying like, I'm really sorry it didn't work this time, but I'd love to keep your details on record. And with venue,
the call we did that, like sorry, we received many applications, you didn't get in, but would you like to be part of the mailing list for future opportunities?
Perfect.
So
but
we
do
really
that
have
with venues and stuff as well, if you don't really.
So venues and artists.
Yeah, because if you want to go back to that venue, you want them to be like, this is the girl who was really nice and sent me that really nice follow-up email. And the same with like tech companies or whatever. Like you don't, if you're really busy in the lead up to the event, you don't have to do it then. I, for example, this isn't a great example, but I just sent loads of follow-up emails that I didn't have a chance to reply to in like June. But last week I was just like, I'm so sorry, the last 8 months was insane. But we'd love to work with you again.
I remember it.
Yeah, so I just keep them all in my inbox, and then when I finally have time, 8 months isn't ideal, but just go back to those people because it's all about basically building your contacts so that people know that you're reliable. So when finally a project comes up, they think, this person's really reliable. So then ultimately people start approaching you about things, which takes ages, but you'll get there. And it might not take ages because you already have rich mix like on your profile and stuff like that. But that will happen when people start looking for like freelance producers or project managers, whatever. Just make everyone realise that you're great and reliable. And also what I used to do until I started on the City project in 2016 or something, was I'd send basically all of my contacts my CV every 6 months and just be like, just to update you, here's my updated CV if you've got anything coming up. And every 6 months, not more than that. But even if you were like in the middle of a project and it was like ending in a couple of months, it was just like and you can tell people when you're available again, but it's just keeping in contact so that
gonna do that. I didn't thought about that. Like, I did the sending the, hey, I'm looking for a job or I'm available for whatever opportunities you have, but I never thought about sending the CV as well.
Yeah.
Which
Also,
I think would have been useful.
pardon?
Like sending the CV.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
I had this random temping job once where I basically had to, like, extra money, where I basically had to review people's CVs and feedback. So if you need your CV looked at, I'm happy to like read it over and suggest amends. Because I've read a lot. Because I've also like brought people onto projects, interview people, but also was basically paid to review and assess CVs or something.
is that it's an art. CV.
It really is, like, although I used to boil it down into like sections. Maybe I can even send you like a template. I don't know if that's useful.
I think, yeah, everything is useful.
It's just about knowing what people are interested in. Like I would always say put key skills and then relevant skills and then employment experience and then education. So you'd want to put your rich mixed up in.
Well, because I had the job placement as well, I can put
Yeah, that would
put
be
it
an
also in working
employment.
experience. Yeah, in employment.
Yeah.
Because I have a placement.
And maybe really near the top. You basically have to, the trick and the like most frustrating, boring bit about CVs is that you have to tailor each one. You have to change it for each role, which is just boring as whatever. But also, it will get you there. I see what I've got. Templates. CV or at least bullet points.
I'll send it to you. Yeah, CVs is an art.
So struggle about my
By the
CV.
way.
Sorry?
Are you a designer?
Yeah.
Ah, like a graphic designer?
No, because the design goals is kind of different. We do it in multi-discipline, and so I'm so struggle. I don't know what should I put in my CV, and like, it's
Like whether you're an artist or a designer or...
no, it's more like a designer, but apparently we have a skill to like. It's more like a problem solving. It can fit in different field, but so it make the like CV or the portfolio even harder to make it because we need to do more research about the company and how we need to do it specifically what they need.
Yeah.
And because like what my tutor says is like some company don't know they need they need designers for their but apparently they do, so you have to think about how their company works and what they exactly need, and you need to introduce yourself. So in a way it's so hard because it's gonna be easier if you said I'm doing graphic design, then you just need to find a specific job, but apparently we learn more like different method to solve problems instead of specific skills. So
Wow.
like
That sounds amazing though. But maybe you can, once you have your foot in the door, like you have an interview or something, then you can bring that in then. But I guess you also just have to have different versions of your CVs,
yeah,
right?
that's the key point, I guess. But it's like, but it makes the portfolio very hard because like your project, what you done before, and you need to change the way you say the story.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh no.
That's the same with mine, and that's also a really key thing to know, I think, is the don't worry about job titles. So in my CV, a lot of my CV is, also I've never been interested in CVs, I've just been interested in the experiences, similar to like your grades. So CVs are tricky when you're in something like this because you're like, I don't
just
care,
wanna
but you
work.
have to do it. But so basically just what you said is really important, is don't worry if like in one role you call yourself, or for one version of your CV you call yourself project manager, and then the next one you change it to producer or whatever, like, or creative producer. Just tweak it. It's all the same thing. It's just if you're applying for a project manager job, then just call yourself project manager and everything is a CV. And then if you're applying for a producer job. It's all the same stuff. It's just you want some
Yeah. I think here it's easy to do that because in Colombia they ask for the support. Like you need to show that you actually did it.
You will get that from your.
So
You will be asked for referees here, but if you have a good relationship with
referees
your.
is like, let's say I had a job placement at Rich Mix. They will ask for a letter from Rich Mix saying Laura was working here from this time to this time in Colombia, not here, but in Colombia.
Here you have to have you do have to. Employers get asked to fill out something like that, but often the job title won't matter, or if it's really important, I imagine you can go to your employer, they're more flexible and just say,
Can you help me please? Can you do it?
yeah. Just bear in mind that I believe, and quite strongly, there is flexibility in job titles, and there's so many blurred lines.
Yeah.
So don't feel like, I'm going to have to put producer when I'm applying for a project manager job, and then they might think, oh, she hasn't managed anything. Yeah. So just allow for some flexibility.
Yeah.
There's one thing that was really, really helpful to me when I started doing events that I basically continue to work with, which is the kind of organisation model. So when I started doing festivals, however many years ago, somebody gave me a template, and it's basically that you have the titles again are fluid, but I was supposed to have a production manager, and then a fundraising manager, and then a marketing manager, and those, all versions of those would be your key roles, because that basically covers everything.
Yeah, you need
and that's
to do all of that.
Yeah, and that's the total minimum, if possible, is that you have somebody who will just embrace all of the marketing stuff and be a lead on all of that, and then somebody who will do all of the logistics and production and potentially programming, and then someone who will look after the budget and the fundraising and stuff like that. And that's your basic team. And then each of those people can have assistants or support, or they can do split roles. But that was totally invaluable to the first event that I did. And I still use that as my very basic model. And then when you get to expand, the production person can be one role, and then you can have a programming person or curator or whatever that's separate to that. But even if you only have 2 people in your team, you just keep those roles in mind and just go, so even if you don't look at them as roles, those are the 3 strands of events that basically need to happen, that you need to deliver.
Yeah, that makes it easy. I told Larissa that we needed to divide better who was doing what, because there was a point that both of us were doing the same thing at the same
You
time.
struggled, didn't you? That's what Larissa said, on the
the division of tasks.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that, if we both want to do artist liaison, it's fine. It's more like you do this part of the task and I do this part of the task, because if not, we're gonna be doing the same.
You're
and
just
it's gonna be a
exhaust
waste of
yourself.
time.
And then it also makes communication, I'm so borderline obsessive with streamlined communication, because when communication gets entangled, it becomes more stressful for you, and in the lead up to events, stuff can get stressful, and the adrenaline goes and stuff, and then also you want to look as organised as you can, so you basically need to keep communication streamlined for internal organisation and external organisation, how you present yourself.
With that we had it clear.
Yeah.
It was more the do this and I do this, but I was and sometimes we ended up doing, I don't know, it was confusing because we were doing the same things at the same time.
Yeah, and
there was not a proper division of tasks, which I think is easier.
And that's a learning curve. You'll have a learning experience every project you ever do, wherever. That's just how it works. But it's interesting as well. And things will get easier, and then things will get more complicated because your events will become bigger and more complicated. I would say if the thing, because for me, it's surprising that you're interested in artist liaison, only because I find liaising with artists quite frustrating sometimes, because quite often, I was having this conversation yesterday with a friend who's a musician, and quite often like the artist brain is like completely on one side and they can't do admin. So artist liaison can be very frustrating. But if by that you mean the creative stuff like programming, then you can do that together. You can devise the event together, and then somebody take on the like admin bit of that, and somebody.
Well, I talked once with a dancer that I was making an interview to her, and she told me that she has a women collective. It's actually called the Women's Collective. So it's a group of 3 dancers, and what they do is that the 3 of them are creators, but they supported each other because they knew it's hard to produce an event or produce a piece or whatever. So it's like, let's say it's the 3 of us, and I say like, okay, I want to do a performance of Winter, and I have this idea, and it's like, fine. So the way they do it is that I work in my piece, and I start doing all the research of like how to do my performance, and I just focus on the artistic stuff, while the other 2 are focusing on, okay, let's do the applications for funding, let's do the applications for festival, like all the administrative stuff. So I found it really nice because it was the person that wanted to do a project could focus on the artistic part, while the others one were supporting in the administrative stuff, which is like the annoying one. And because it's a lot of work. And when she told me, I was like, that's so intelligent. So they were like, hey, I have a project, and the other ones help.
And then the other person does their creative stuff, and then the other 2.
And you don't have in your brain all the things that I need to write the piece, but I need to write the proposal, because it's a lot of work at the same time.
It needs to be split up.
So when
That's
you
a
have
really nice
when you
model.
have other people helping, and when you build a collective, it's beautiful. And this woman was making a solo piece, like let's say physical theater. And it was beautiful and amazing, and of course she could get to that point because she was focused on her art, while the other ones were applying for this festival, were applying for this and that. So
yeah, because actually the world of producing can be really frustrating. I spent quite a lot of time trying to find the term creative producer, essentially, because I was like, I make projects, I don't know what. I don't know what I'm doing. And I really, like, there's loads of my friends who are doctors and lawyers, I was like, I need a title. And creative producer kind of covers that in a way. But, yeah, you do get, you can just end up doing all of the admin production stuff. And if you're really interested in the creative stuff as well, then it's important to try and keep that balance, and that seems like a really nice.
because for me it's important to have both.
Yeah.
And the last 2 firsts I couldn't perform because I was doing stage management, so it was like, well, like I had the opportunity, I can just leave it loud, but it was a lot of things, and I was like, I'm not gonna do a good performance because I'm like.
Yeah, so you all as an individual need to work out how to do that.
Yeah.
And that's a great model for that, and I'm sure talking to other people it's definitely Sorry, I thought you were going to say
I was just thinking because I have a society, and that we are like very close friends, and we know I know what they are good at. So when we trying to organize a event, a festival, we are very easy to communicate each other. Like, you are good at this, like you are good at promoting, then we're gonna leave this work to you. So you can try to like work with the people who are like close to you, and you understand what they're good at, and then can start to build a system that help with the management.
Building a team.
Build a team. Yeah, that's what I try to say.
Definitely, and identifying kind of key skills.
Yeah.
Definitely. And is there anything, so I just realised it's 5:20, so we've got about 10 more minutes. Sorry, I just have to run off to meet someone. Is there anything else that you feel like you need or wasn't covered in your program, or like after your last event you were like, God, it would have been helpful to have that bit of information, because yeah, I can send you links or documents or point you somewhere in the right direction if I don't have it.
Well, it was a thing we struggled with because it's hard to get a technician, to be honest. We ended up having a really bad technician the day of the event.
What
He even
happened?
popped
Somebody
in.
dropped out.
That guy went into... So there was a girl performing and she forgot to turn on her guitar, and she was saying on the microphone like, hey, is this working? But she didn't look at her guitar, and then the technician went on the stage and talked to her like, turn on your guitar, and it was like, man, what are you doing? You didn't go on stage. I don't know, like...
So is he the sound check? Sorry, I said he because it usually is.
Yeah,
but
he's a
was she
she. He did the sound check. Well, he arrived like an hour late, but he did the sound check. Everything was fine. But at the moment of the performance, he came into the stage because this girl forgot to turn on her guitar.
I wouldn't be that worried about that.
I mean, but then we had more issues with him, and he was like, pay me in cash now, blah
You
blah
needed
blah.
to agree that beforehand. So this is something that I've
like-
learned. Even if you like are an informal organisation, have everything written down beforehand. Even if it's just in an email, like all the terms and conditions, like arrive at this time, you will be paid at this time. This always comes up. People always want to be paid in cash, and they can't demand that on the day.
Yeah.
That's frustrating.
good, yeah.
And you will always meet frustrating people like that. Yeah, that even happened at the festival I did in the summer. The production manager was a nightmare, and she's like 40 something. She's been doing this for years. But anyway, you just have to, in those situations, I would say that there's two things that are quite crucial. One is that you maintain, even if inside you're like, oh my god, I'm swearing, you maintain externally,
A poker face,
you're like, yeah, total poker face, and just be like, could you do this, could you do this, blah 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 blah, so that the audience are like, no. And also realise, like, just don't create a scene, which I'm sure you wouldn't, but that's one of the key event things. And the other thing is, the audience definitely doesn't worry or notice as much as you do.
Yeah, well,
That's
of course the audience noticed when he came into the stage,
Yeah,
but
but
all
they
the
don't really
discussion
care.
after that,
Like, they get
all the audience
over
were
it.
already gone, so it was like, fine.
Yeah, but they also don't, like, that will be like, for you, that will be like, oh my god, I've been planning this event for weeks,
And this
this
guy
was not
just-
supposed to happen,
Yeah.
and this guy just walked in and messed up the whole thing. The audience will just be like, oh,
Technical
like
problems.
they'll just not have the same perspective at all.
Yeah.
Like, they'll be chatting to their friends. Like, at my festival on the Friday, I was completely devastated because the production manager essentially hadn't done their job. Loads of stuff like what you just described happened. I spent like months planning it, if not like years have been building up to this event, but the event was going to be different. So months planning this specific event, and then in my eyes it was basically horrendous. But then I had some friends there, and they were like, "Oh no, it was fine." Like, they were just like, "It was great, it was fine." Oh, we didn't really notice that, we were just chatting. And obviously they were friends, so but I just mean people just, if something isn't happening on the stage, the people aren't going to be like angry or upset. The audience, they just turn to their friends and chat. Well, just put some music on to like cover it all and then sort it out. But just, yeah, poker face is the way forward.
Well, I was
I learned
upstairs.
to repress it.
Louise was downstairs making a face of and I was upstairs like, that's what, yeah.
But that's also something that, like, you just have to get used to because it's the nature of events. You can be like a control freak and as organised as possible, and you
But
should
still
be.
many things
But things are going to go wrong. Like, people will drop out on the day, people will drop out on the day before.
I have had that, no worries. On
Yeah.
the day, 1 hour before, sorry, I cannot go, and we were like,
Yeah, you just have to go like, and you have to literally. It potentially makes you an annoying person in real life because now I'm such a solutions person that I can't deal with like people. I don't know. Like, we had my parents' oven basically stopped working on Christmas Day, and I turned into like event manager mode. I was like, right, what are we going to do? They basically told me I was too bossy. But you end up just going like, okay, that's fine, what do we do?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
okay, solutions. No, that happened to me as well.
Yeah.
People come with problems and I listen and it's like,
Your solution,
Fine.
yeah, it's probably partly why you want
What
to
are
be a
you gonna do
producer
now?
though as well, or why you are a producer. It's just a like way to react things.
You can't avoid that.
yeah,
It just happens.
Yeah.
And last quick question, do you know what has happened with the funding and all that stuff?
Oh god, it's really unbelievably awful. And I can't believe you haven't been paid yet. That's awful, not the money has disappeared. So, without going into like the long complex context of all gay community events, this is relevant. It is a community-based organisation that's being supported by the City of London, the community engagement team, myself included. The bank account was set up years ago with the community members who were members of organised community events then. One of them is, hopefully not here, is basically, there's two signatories. One is the treasurer, Matt. He's great. One is also great, but she's also a vulnerable adult. She signed up to be a signatory about 3 years ago, is no longer really part of the organisation at all, and has also basically refused to meet to sign the papers that we need to get her removed as a signatory. And she just, and this is part of her personality, and she's very inflexible, and she just says, I'm having some DIY done, I can't sign anything for 3 months. This is I know this is not relevant, you just need the money, but it's just to explain the frustration and to give you an idea of what we're trying to solve. The funding that ACE keeps going into the reserve account because that's her official account, and they need the money in the other pot, which is the current account, and she needs to either sign something so that the money can go in,
either sign
or
this
sign to
paper
be
or the
removed.
other paper.
And she's so refused, and I've basically taken this on because I'm not a volunteer and I'm full-time, and I'm working with Matt we've been to the bank who've just said we need to access that money. They've said the best thing to do is get her removed as a signatory. She's refused to meet until the beginning of February, and she's a resident, so you can't be she's not an employee, so you can't, I know this is so not helpful for you. So, but there's one of my colleagues works with her personally, directly as an individual, and he was meeting her today anyway at her flat. So he's gone with the papers where I've just said she needs to sign here and she needs to sign here, and fingers crossed, unless she's I said no, I wasn't available to the end of January. Fingers crossed that's doable. Fingers crossed she's signed it today. I'm going to find out on Monday, and if that hasn't happened, then what we can do is I can find out whether you can get paid from the City of London instead, and then ACE can okay,
and then
ACE can invoice
make
the city.
transfers in between.
Yeah, it's just that that option is problematic and hasn't been done yet because ACE has it's so long-winded. ACE is a community organisation that grew out of the City Project, and there's one politician in Aldgate through the weird medieval governance thing of the city, who basically is really obsessed with money and power and doesn't want anything to exist in the community that he doesn't have anything to do with. And because ACE is great and community-led, he's trying to stop it from existing, so we're trying to avoid ACE getting money from the city because all of their accounts are public, and he can be why did ACE get that public? So I've avoided that option because at the moment he's causing a lot of problems. ACE is fine, and it's a community-led organisation. Danielle's the chair. It's all community members and residents, so there's no real issues. He's just trying to pick it apart because he doesn't have control over it. So that's option A, plan A. That's plan B. I'm so sorry that it's taken that long.
Because we need to say to, because we have been, the artists
been
are
holding people.
hey, and we're hey, it's not our problem. Like it's not like our fault.
No, say it's not your fault and just say your funder or whatever is having issues and you're so sorry.
Yeah, now with this I'm gonna send an email to them like, hey.
Should be like end of January, early February at the latest,
Okay.
and you'll update them as soon as possible. And just say your funder is having, if you haven't said okay, community event, don't, but if you have, it's fine. Or community, whatever you want. But just apologise for that. Sorry. Awful.
You have the bank account of Larisse.
I think so, yeah. Whatever you sent on the invoice. And the invoice I sent, like, yeah, it's not even like anyone's fault. I mean, it's this lady's fault. But so frustrating.
People.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna put you in touch with Arts Admin and then some ideas for marketing and template CV and stuff.
Great.
And let me know if there's anything else.
Yeah, I will.
Cool.
I'm gonna also ask Larisse because today she had an exam and
Yeah,
I was
Danielle
like,
said
Larisse,
she
any
had an exam.
questions? And she never answered.
She was like, and also I'm available to catch up with Larisse as well. I'm just around, so if she wants to come and
I think that she usually comes for Fridays because she's part of Young and Serious, which is a musician's program.
yeah,
so it's
jazz.
really cool. So she usually comes Thursdays and Fridays.
Okay, cool. Well, she can
So yeah.
tell her to like give me a shout if she wants to meet. And also you could totally
No, so you can finish your sentence.
I was gonna say you could totally like develop a project with her that would like bring you over here and bring her over there.
Yeah, and with Pacama, which I'm connected with them, I know they're interested also in they're interested in refugees, and Colombia has so many Venezuelans right now that it would be an interesting project to work with Pacama or any other institution of the UK because I know it's something that is of interest, like religious migration.
Totally relevant, yeah, to everywhere. Sounds great. Keep me updated on everything, and I will send you an email with that stuff.
Thank
and
you.
lovely to meet you.
Yeah, it's like a bit weird, but may I ask for some advice?
I just want to see this. Sorry, you can talk.
I'm also interested in like an event or festival manager or like project design kind of thing. So can you offer me some advice to how can I start to working on or what should I do?
How can
for
you
it?
start to set up events and stuff like that?
Yeah, because I'm interested in like.
Yes, but should we meet at another time and have a proper catch up?
Yeah, I can call you by email.
Only because I have to run and I don't want to give you a rubbish.
Oh, okay, cool.
Are you London based?
Yeah.